Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I did this video for you earlier, but it had no audio, so I'm going to redo it for you. It's short and sweet, pretty much. There are 3 URLs in the description of this video for your convenience. They are listed in the description. The first one here is off of your news leader, Fox. It's KFYT. Try it again. KFYRTV.com. There we go. Chase Iron Eyes among 76 arrested after DAPL protesters attempt to set up new camp on private land. North Dakota. Authorities arrested dozens of Dakota Access Pipeline protesters Wednesday, including a former congressional candidate. Many of those who had abandoned the old camp and the floodplain moved to higher ground, which happens to belong to the company building the pipeline. Verge on new camp with Humvees and front-end loaders to push protesters back on Highway 1806. The new camp with 7 teepee frames representing the 7 tribes was erected on a hill Wednesday morning, a quarter mile from the original Oseti-Sakowin camp, who said they wanted to establish a more peaceful and prayerful protest presence, built the new dwelling. We want to make it a difference from the old Oseti. We want to call this camp the Last Child Camp, says Rance Sneed, a protester. Say the idea for the camp came in a vision about 2 weeks ago. The new encampment didn't go unnoticed by law enforcement, who assembled a small force of vehicles and officers to raid it before more demonstrators could put down roots. That we would move into the area and clear the protesters from that hill, at which that was done on that private land, says Iverson, North Dakota Highway Patrol. What Crazy Horse went through when he took his last breath, he fought to his last breath, so we can be who we are. Live our lives the way it was intended by the Creator, says Julian Bear Runner, a protester. Before all the teepees were up, a convoy of Humvees and heavy equipment pushed protesters who had gathered on Highway 1806 back to the entrance of the protest camp. That they decided to trespass on there, and really forcing law enforcement in this situation to really having to move in on this area and clear them from the hill, says Iverson. Officers made their way up the hill to the camp and threatened to arrest occupants for trespassing. 76 of them were taken into custody, including former Democratic congressional candidate Chase Iron Eyes. The next one here in the lineup says it's off of My Indy Now, and it says former U.S. House candidate Chase Iron Eyes arrested. Mayor protest activity today near Cannonball. Well, let's try that again. Goodness gracious. Major protest activity today near Cannonball. According to law enforcement, there have been 76 arrests, including former Democratic congressional candidate Chase Iron Eyes. It started this morning when law enforcement said about 40 protesters had set up a camp on private property owned by the Dakota Access Pipeline. As the day went on, the crowds grew and protesters refused to vacate the private property. Activity is ongoing, and we will update this story as news becomes available. Next one that I have is off of Alternative Media. It says police raid Standing Rock camp, dismantle teepees, and are burning what remains. Following our earlier report from Standing Rock on the Last Child Camp, reports began to roll in that police had taken down teepees and burned whatever remained. Some of the live streaming of these incidents was blocked, but we have been given is as follows. Please watch and help us get the word out. And there is video in this. if you want to pull it up and take a look at it. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. I can't make this stuff up. Seems that there'd be a better way to do it than burning the teepees and these people's um, homes. I mean, you know, virtually this is their homes. They're out there. They've destroyed their sacred land. They're putting a pipeline in through the water, and it's going to leak. They all leak. Every pipeline they put in is leaked. Um, so they're destroying their water, their sacred lands, and okay, so they probably shouldn't have set up on private property. But by the same token, you know, eye for an eye. Goodness gracious. Well, if you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up, share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the news, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you later.